the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing, till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead? Dago from the cafe says forget about it, leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare, every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
Well, hello everyone. It's great to be back with you. Welcome to another Crimes After Dark with all the devil's advocates. Lee won't be here this evening. Boss man is on a jet plane. He is flying back home as we speak, so he probably won't get back to his house probably till about 3 a.m. So unfortunately, he won't be here with us this evening, but he will be back tomorrow night. But we still have almost a full panel. We have, of course, Dago is in the house. We have 1-1, and we have JJ from State of the Deep. So as always, we never lack for things to talk about. So there's no danger of that at all. So welcome on in, everyone. Just want to give a shout out in advance to all of the wonderful mods across both communities that are with us this evening. And we appreciate everything that you do. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Dago here a minute. Hello there, sir.
Good evening. How are ya?
Oh boy, he's
Great
in
to
rare
see you
form.
all
Look out.
tonight. Yes, great to be here. How are you tonight?
Oh, that doesn't get old.
Always
I
so
have to
much
get
fun.
one of them.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So how was your day?
It was good. It was good. Actually, right as the opening was going through, I just got some good news. So,
Oh,
a great show today. We discussed some things in Idaho about Dylan and Bethany. We went back over the uh interviews and stuff like that. So yeah.
all
But
right, great.
tomorrow, and I'll get into that tonight during the talk. I'll explain what my good news was. Something I've been looking forward to. And it actually just all happened within the next like 3 hours, past 3 hours. So it was good stuff. Oh yeah, once we get going, I'll tell you guys that story. Yeah,
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
yeah,
All right, I will
good.
go ahead and bring up JJ from State of the Deep. Hello, JJ.
You're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
Hello, everybody.
There we go.
Robin,
Hello.
Dago, 1-1,
Good to see you.
denizens, meatballs, mods. I hope everybody's
How are
doing
you?
good.
You
I'm
too,
good.
sir.
Good. I am glad to hear that. Anything exciting in your world today?
No big excitement. Like we chatted for a second backstage. I just finished the latest episode of Candace Owens series that she's doing just a little bit ago. So that's heating up, to say the least. It's
Definitely.
generating a lot of controversy, of course. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
her stock in trade.
Yes.
Right.
And she's digging in to the background of Erica Kirk's family and gaps in timelines of narratives that about Erica's past and about her family's past and things like that. And I've said it before, man. You don't want to get her on your bad side, man. You don't want to get Candace on your bad side because she
at
will
all.
dig so deep. And if the more that people push back on her, the deeper she digs.
If she does not let up,
Yep.
no.
Yeah, well, like her
Yeah.
or not, like it's just a simple fact. Like if you get on her
Yeah.
bad side, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
She's pretty wicked. So,
Yeah.
all right. I'm going to go ahead and bring 1-1 up here. Welcome to the stage, 1-1. How are you?
I'm ready to go
We can't hear
deep.
you. Oh,
Deep and deeper and deep.
Let's do it. Deep as we can
Hey,
go.
Jen. Let's go. Let's fight.
Let's do it right now.
hey man, let's go to it.
I feel like singing.
Oh, all right. Oh, he's turning on the auto tune, man. That's funny. Oh my
I,
gosh.
I think I
that's
have
funny.
that too.
Oh,
So how was your day today, Sir 1-1?
I'm in captain training school.
Yeah. How did that
No.
go today?
It's good. We were brought down to police headquarters today, so the Bronx was up for a big meeting, and I've already seen some of these meetings before. So I mean, some of the other people I've just got promoted with have not been involved in some of these meetings. So for some of them, it's a little eye opener.
Yeah.
They can get a
Did
little.
anybody else drop out?
We're down to 9 right now.
I know.
We'll see.
That's what you said last night.
What did you start with?
Yeah. We started with 10.
Oh, gotcha.
10 little Indians.
Yeah, 10 little Indians. Oh.
Yeah, I like that. Book.
What do
or
you
movie or
think
whatever.
it'll end up? Do you think the rest of you guys will make it all through, or do you think there'll be more people drop off?
Well, out of the out of the 9 remaining that are there, 3 of us, including myself, you know, if we were like, oh, this is just ridiculous, I want nothing to do with this, we literally like, so where headquarters is in Manhattan, literally like 2 blocks away, I think it's on Rector Street, is the pension section. So we're like joking about it all day.
Gotcha.
Like the 3 of us, including myself, we could just be like, no, all right, we got promoted. I think I'm gonna file for retirement now. I'm done.
Yeah.
No,
we had a cat to do that.
Yeah. Why do people do that? I mean, some people just they just want to put down on their resume they had the title.
They made it.
If it's checked, they didn't really do anything in the position, but still it'll come up that you held the title. So, and that title holds a lot of weight in many I have no intention of moving, but being getting to the level of captain in NYPD, that there are many towns in the United States I could probably like be the chief of the whole department, like run the whole department.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true.
We'll get you to Moscow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's clean that shit up.
They wouldn't take it.
yeah, right.
If you go to Moscow, I'll move there.
Oh my.
Yeah, they wouldn't take him. He's not crooked.
I would hire. I would hire. Yeah. All of you guys would be hired on the. We'd clean that place right up.
If everybody move out if we all moved in. That's a fact.
It would be they wouldn't know what hit him, like,
right.
It's a nice little town and everyone is super nice, so we could go there and
pretty much
nothing ever happens.
We can make it our home.
That's right.
Yeah,
we could just move in and take over. Absolutely. We're gonna get into Moscow a little bit tonight because I got a story to tell you.
Yeah. Well, how about you read us in?
Okay.
Is
it good? Is it good to be alive in the den on a Tuesday night? Let's go. Juliana, Jackson, and my beautiful wife. Love you guys always. Some towns carry a reputation. Others carry a scar. And the quiet college town of Moscow, Idaho, will never again be known for just football games, frat parties, and late night food runs along the strip. Because on a cold November morning, something shattered that illusion inside a rental house just steps from the campus of the University of Idaho, the kind of house where doors rarely stay locked and friends come and go at all hours. 4 young lives were taken with a level of violence that left investigators, neighbors, and an entire country struggling to comprehend what had happened. This wasn't a bar fight gone wrong. This wasn't a robbery. This was something far darker. A killer moved through that house in the early morning darkness of November 13th, 2022, leaving behind a scene so brutal it would ignite one of the most talked about criminal investigations in modern America. For weeks, the town existed under a cloud. Parents called their kids and begged them to come home. Students walked campus looking over their shoulders. Rumors multiplied faster than answers. Then investigators dropped a name into the center of the storm. A man who on paper seemed almost too strange to fit the story. A criminology doctoral student. Someone studying the minds of criminals. Someone obsessed with the mechanics of violent crime. That man was Brian Koberger. Suddenly, the narrative twisted into something that sounded less like a tragedy and more like a psychological puzzle. Detectives began pointing to a trail of clues they say led straight to him, a white sedan drifting through the neighborhood in the dead of night, phone records mapping movements around the house, a knife sheath discovered beside one of the victims, DNA evidence that prosecutors say ties everything together. But in cases like this, the deeper you go, the more complicated the story becomes. Because behind every piece of evidence lies another question. Why that house? Why those victims? Was this obsession, calculation, or something else entirely? And since the legal battle ended, the debate has only grown louder. Is the case airtight? Or are there still shadows hiding in the timeline? Tonight, we step into that storm, not to repeat headlines, not to chase internet rumors, but to break apart the evidence, the investigation, and the unanswered questions that continue to surround one of the most disturbing college town murders in recent memory. 4 victims, 1 suspect, and a case that refuses to stop raising questions. This is the Idaho 4, and tonight we play devil's advocate. With that, live from New York, it's Tuesday night.
Very good. I love that. That was great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I know Dago said that he has some stuff to tell us here. Some kind of good news.
You're
while
welcome.
I just want to give everyone just a little update on the Sabrina Adkins case. I know Lee will definitely discuss this in much more detail tomorrow night. But she did in fact settle the case, so there will not be a trial, which is why Lee is on his way home. Like I said, as we speak. So he will get into all that in much more thoroughly tomorrow night when he's on the show. But so he wanted me to make sure to let you guys know this show is his priority. He's always like, they're gonna think I don't want to be there, but he does want to be here, but he's just traveling to get home so that he can definitely be here tomorrow night. So never fear, fearless leader shall be back. So
We're taking over.
yeah, that's right. When the head honcho is away, the mic's
Damn right, baby.
yeah.
It's playtime.
Let's
Me
tear
and
it up,
JJ
guys.
gotta have to get that program so we can all sound like the chipmunks.
I feel left out.
I know. I mean, I can do it like this, but it's not as fun.
You're having way too much fun with that, buddy.
All right, we'll get you into it.
Yeah, we'll get something.
Now you
figured
sound
out
like
for
Darth
you.
Vader or something.
Luke, I am your father.
What?
Oh
let's
man.
have a let's have a sing along time now.
Jesus
gotta-
Christ. It sounds like got a voice box or something.
You gotta stop.
What the hell was the dude name from South Park that had that? Remember that?
Oh man. That's just
Oh
funny.
man,
That's just straight up
it
funny.
is. It's hysterical.
No respect.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh
Oh.
man.
Yes, Barry White.
You guys are killing me.
So, what is your good news, Dago? You have me all curious over here, man.
Okay. So, a while back, we all know all about Moscow, Idaho. And yes, somebody asked me in the chat, I did cut my hair. I was tired of all that long, gray, shitty looking hair. So I cut it down. My
It's
son
looking-
said I look younger. So, hey, here we are.
You're looking
Looks good, man.
Thank you. Thank you. There was a situation that went down in Moscow a couple months back, a couple months back. I can't remember exactly when. But anyway, there was a food delivery driver that was over in Frat Row area delivering food. There was a group of fraternity members playing basketball. The ball bounced over, hit the kid's car. He said something. They got into a fight, and they beat this kid to the point where he actually literally died in the back of the ambulance on the way to the hospital. His name is Austin Dorson. And I'll show you a couple photographs of this kid when he was in the hospital. He's okay now. He's doing better. But, okay. Sorry, my ear things aren't working. But anyway, this is on University of Idaho property, same as always. And he went into the hospital. They had to put him under a medically induced coma. They had to drill a hole in this kid's skull to relieve the pressure in his brain. A lot of the things they did, like, because I was a first responder, I know, thank God, what was going on with him. I believe it was a sorority girl that actually saved his life. Okay, what happened was the kid went down. They were fighting, and then the kid that beat him up, like, his head bounced off the concrete. We could actually see it happen, and the kid just kept hitting him and bouncing his head off the concrete. I mean, at some point, something's going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he went to the hospital. He was in the hospital for quite a while. He was in really bad shape, you guys. Like I said, he died in the hospital on the way there. Again, luckily, by the grace of God and prayers and everything else, he made it through. He's got some damage still, I believe, but still, that's a lot to go through. You know, there's going to be some probably,
Yeah.
you know, maybe down the road, hopefully not, but there could possibly still be some after effects, brain damage, whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah.
and again, and it doesn't matter to me who started the fight. They're trying to claim that it was Austin that started the fight, whatever. I don't care. And they're trying to say that the frat guy said, oh, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Then why did you have to kill this kid? Okay, but whatever. So, yeah, trigger warning. Thank you, Amanda. At that point, you would think, definitely some cognitive problems, Candy, that Moscow police, the Latah County Prosecutor's Office, and the University of Idaho would show some accountability.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
And I'm not one bit of accountability. There's been no charges filed. There should be battery, assault, multiple things with this at this point, okay? But nothing. And I believe it's because it's a fraternity. There's been no apologies from the university. There's been nothing. Nothing.
This was the newer one, right? That happened, or
Austin? Yeah.
Yeah, isn't there? There's like some video of it, right? Yeah, I remember seeing it, and the thing that's crazy about it is that he already had lost the fight. He was already like on the ground, and then he was still being hit, and his head like bounces off the ground. We're crazy.
Yep. Yes. So in turn, again, like, I have big issues with the fact that the university didn't apologize. The university hasn't shown any accountability. The police department have filed no charges. Neither has the prosecutor's office. Nobody. There's nothing. Okay, fine. So tomorrow I reached out to Adam, Austin's father, and I said, I'm just kind of sick of this shit. And I said, sir, I would love to interview you and put your son's story out there to the world and let them realize, let people see this is what's going on. And this is not okay. I said, Austin deserves some form of justice. I'm sorry. If nothing else, the world's going to know this is what goes down on the campus of the University of Idaho. I said, I'm sure it goes down other places too, but I'm just tired of seeing this stuff happen. I'm tired of seeing these fraternities get away with this bullshit. There being no accountability. I'm done with it. So I'm going to have him on my show, interview him, and let the whole world know the story. And I just reached out to him like 4 hours ago. And he reached back and said, absolutely, I would love to do that. So here we go.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yes. Absolutely. And if nothing else, guys, it's gonna be we're gonna be a voice. And that's what we do here. That's what we are. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna give Austin a voice because nobody else is gonna listen. Nobody cares. They don't care. The people that should care do not care. There needs to be accountability. And if they don't want to take accountability, I'm gonna throw it at them. If they don't want to catch it, I'm gonna keep throwing it at them. So that's all I'm saying.
Wow. That
I could show.
and
I
you're
don't. I put it backstage. This is
Yeah.
what
There he
you,
is.
yeah.
There he
yeah.
is. Trigger warning. That's how bad he was, guys. And that's actually after he'd recovered a bit. All because
Yeah.
I'm sick with this, guys. I'm sick with it. I was sick when I saw that. This kid had to have a hole drilled in his head, folks. Okay? That's the fight video right there.
Yeah, I wonder if, yeah, let's see. Can I play it?
Thank you, Tandy. I mean, you guys, it doesn't show a whole lot. Okay? You can see what happens, which is what the cause is. It doesn't show anything graphic that you can see unless you can't handle fighting, but trigger
I
warning
think
either way.
Yeah,
I
that's why I
played
put
it.
up
I'm
the
playing
parental
it.
advisory.
Can you maximize it?
You should be able to have something in the bottom right corner to blow it up, maybe.
Like if you go to,
Yeah,
there you go.
There
Yeah.
it is. Absolutely no reason for this. None.
No. Nope.
So we are going to be Austin's voice to the world. And it maybe they'll do something at that point. Maybe. I doubt it, but
Yeah.
maybe they will.
Well, bringing awareness can never hurt.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you know, like you said, we can certainly give them a voice. So,
Like I said, this
So,
this this is the
so it's
20
Phi Delta Theta fraternity.
Phi Delta Theta. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and this is a 26-year-old young man, okay, that could have lost his life that day. Who didn't have the chance to even start it, in my opinion. At 26 years old, he could have lost his life because these brats they're like somebody said in the chat, brat immunity. It's exactly what it is. That's
yeah.
exactly how I see it. And they can argue it until they want, until they turn blue in the face. It's a problem,
Yeah.
folks. And I'm just tired of
And
seeing
like
it.
Amanda just said, no charges. No charges.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Yeah. So further down the article, it says no charges have been filed and an investigation is ongoing. The University of Idaho Phi Delta Theta chapter has had notable members nationally, including Idaho Governor Brad Little and U.S. Senator Jim Risch. Very interesting.
Moscow police, the investigation's over. They investigated it. They found nothing. They turned it over to the prosecutor's office, and he said, "We have nothing."
Yeah.
Shame on you.
It's
All of
bullshit.
Well, the
Absolute bullshit.
fraternities, you know, like people that were members of the fraternity that end up in positions of power or influence, they protect the fraternities.
Yeah.
It's just
They're gonna protect, right. At all
the
costs.
alumni. Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
yeah, and there's alumni also give a lot of money to schools and to the chapters at the different universities.
Yes.
And there's a lot of connections. I knew a lot of guys growing up that ended up, you know, going into fraternities, and I never did. I was an athlete, so I never dealt really.
Yeah.
I hung out at fraternities because I had friends that were fraternity members, and they all have attitudes, man. It's like I became friends with guys in fraternities only after they found out that I was a lifeguard at the beach and I had big parties. Then they were my best friend. But before they knew that, they would just give me shit just for being at their fraternity house, even though like I was invited by one of their fraternity brothers. And so I was never a big fan. I won't tell the whole story, but I got jumped by a fraternity at Rutgers, and it's a long story, but they thought I was alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't. I was with my whole wrestling team, but they weren't with
Uh,
me.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Nice.
They weren't with me when it happened. I was basically, we went to this party. We got invited there. We weren't there on like, we didn't just crash the party. Someone
Right.
invited us
Right.
to the party. So we went to the party and everybody dispersed, everybody kind of goes their separate ways and it's checking the place out. And there's a basement and there's a keg and everything. And I started talking to a girl that I had no idea who she was. I was just chatting with this girl. It turns out it was the ex-girlfriend of one of the fraternity brothers. And my guys were all downstairs at this point in the basement. And I'm not a big dude, and like, so these guys surrounded me and they're like, you got to go. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to get jumped. I just knew something was going to happen. And
Right.
just as they were leading me out the door, right behind them comes the rest of my wrestling team, including our heavyweight. Our heavyweight was about 260 pounds of anger. And
Right.
and so, but they didn't know. They were behind them. And as soon as we got outside, basically they attacked me. And I'll just say that it didn't
Didn't
turn
go
out
well.
for them
Yeah.
because I'm not a big dude. I can take care of myself, but not against like 8 guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But when a 260-pound savage just starts flinging people into parked cars, it disperses the crowd pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And
Good.
like
I would
I got
say so.
really, really, really lucky because if my guys were literally a minute or 2 later coming out of the basement, I would have been beat up pretty bad.
If not
'Cause
worse.
it was their fraternity house. There was no one was going to break it up. And so I got really, really, really lucky. And I
Yeah.
swear I didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. I didn't like try to start a fight with anybody. I didn't do anything. So that's kind of the mentality
Yeah.
of these fraternities. They will gang up on you.
Yeah.
Brothers on brothers. That's right. Brothers in
Yep.
arms. That's exactly how they see it. And here's the thing. I saw somebody in chat said, and you're right. I did read it that they said that Austin started this fight. Okay. The story I read, and that story came from that side of things, just so you understand. Okay. They made it sound all good. Okay. That the fraternity guy didn't want to fight. And here's my thing. If that's the truth, then why didn't you walk away?
Right.
Right.
He didn't. He
Yeah.
didn't. And you can see it in the video how it went down. Okay. This kid was delivering food. The basketball got flung at his car, probably dented it or something. And the kid probably yelled and said, hey, watch what the hell you're doing or something. And there was probably, I think there was 5 or 6 of them standing there who smarted back, I'm sure. And the kid, guys are guys. We do dumb shit sometimes and we'll mouth off. Okay. I'm not going to stand there and back down from anybody. That's just how I always was. I never did do that. I'll get my ass beat, but I'll stand up to him. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So whether he started it or didn't start it, there was no reason for that. When the fight's over, it's over. You fight one-on-one, you're done. Move
Yeah.
along. That's not how this went. They beat this kid. He beat this kid down, and the kid was down. He was done, and they just kept hammering his head into the ground, folks. That's disgusting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
That part of it, I don't know how there's no charges,
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what my problem with this is. And that is why I'm interviewing
because
Adam.
it's like, because it's like the fight is over and maybe, they
Right.
couldn't decide who started it or whatever. It's fine. But then when clearly like there's a winner already, like it's over and someone continues.
Walk
Now
away.
you're on another level. Now it's like your intent is to do, what is your intent? You're trying to kill this guy
Right.
or do, like it's
Right.
not about
showing off for the sorority girls.
Yeah.
'Cause they
Right,
were
just maximum damage at that
But it's
point.
just
And-
maximum
and-
damage at that point, right?
And
And
the
that's-
thing is, this is a very good example. If you take this, what happens with fraternities, and we've seen a million examples of this, right? We've all
Yeah.
seen it. We've all seen the videos. We've all heard the stories. Take that and expand it to the national level.
Mhm.
When people
Yeah.
are part of this kind of secret society type thing, which is what fraternities are on a smaller scale, what it does is it emboldens people because they're used to getting away with things because of the
Yeah.
connections that they have. And if you look at, we all know about Skull and Bones, we all know
Yeah.
about the Freemasons and all the presidents that were and high level politicians that were members of these secret societies and CEOs and things like that. And I happen to know things about that because I know people who worked for these big organizations and who was in charge. This is like, it sounds silly, but this is a microcosm example of what happens. You have these quote unquote fraternities / secret societies, and they all protect each other. And not only after bad things happen, it enables them to get away with things. And if you know you can get away with shit, you will get away with as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on with the Epstein files. That's a perfect example. It's all these powerful people. They all protect each other. We see it in broad daylight now. It's been exposed. For the people who maybe didn't know about this kind of stuff. I mean, Whitney Webb's been talking about this stuff for years.
Yeah.
Extensively.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, she's nailed everything, man. So many things she's talked about are happening right now. And this fraternity thing is on a much smaller scale, but it's the same type of mentality that this type of thing breeds.
Right. Yeah.
And that's just
I just want to say a quick shout out to Jody from the Defense Rest. She's in the house, so welcome to you. So good to see you as always. So
good to see you, Jody. But yeah, this is a stepping stone. Okay, this is just one of many instances that will happen. Because they know they can get away with things. Just like that video we saw in my show, at least we saw the University of Iowa. Okay, they were doing the hazing video. I don't know if you guys all saw that. I think one you were in my show that day for it when I was running that hazing video in the basement of that fraternity house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They have no respect for authority. They have no respect for themselves, let alone authority. They don't care. The police were standing there telling them to shut this down, to walk out of the room, to do this, to do that. They just ignored him. They didn't answer him. You got some cocky, arrogant piece of shit asshole in there just laughing it away, drinking a beer, doing this, doing that. That was disgusting to me, okay? There's no respect for human life, let alone any of the other things. So they're in turn, I'm just tired of seeing this, guys. It's enough, okay? If you want to belong to a fraternity and they follow the rules of life, okay, and respect, fine. But when you, and I'm going to call it what it is, when you join this group, a group like this, it's a cult, folks. Okay.
Yeah.
It's cult mentality. It's sickening to me.
Yeah.
Be able to get away with murdering almost, because that's what happened. The kid died. He would not have been brought back to life. That's murder. End of story.
Right.
Now, what would have happened if he had died? Do you guys think he'd have been charged then?
No.
I don't. They'd have called it an accident.
No, they would have. Yeah, it would have been covered up into some nonsense.
Exactly.
Well, if the thing is, it's what we've been talking about. If let's just say the worst case scenario happened, right? If those kids were prosecuted, then what happens? It opens up the school to lawsuits.
Yep.
It opens the door. Not to say that it can't happen. That can't still happen. What I'm saying is, though, it opens the floodgates a lot more for lawsuits. And we know that, everything's about protecting the university. We see it all around the country, But You know, I've talked before about the Austin, Texas situation. They covered that shit up there because undoubtedly they don't want it to hurt the university. You know what happened in Moscow. You know that university had major sway over that investigation and everything that happened.
Of course.
Right?
You know what I want to know, JJ? Truly, I want to know how many of the law enforcement officials that looked into this investigation and or the prosecutor's office are alumni of maybe even that fraternity, let alone any fraternity, and protected, like you said, protected this situation from being prosecuted because of that. That is what makes me sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's very plausible in a small
Mm-hmm.
town
Yeah.
that has, see, all right. So you look at a place like UT Austin, it's a huge school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very different situation. Austin's a city. It's a huge school. Moscow is a small town. Right. It's going to operate under a different set of rules. The old boys network, which I don't know a lot about Ann Taylor. I know as much as we all basically know that came out throughout the case. But when you're in that system, it doesn't matter. You could be a good person. You could be a good person, but you're under a system, and a system will always overpower a person. Did you guys, anybody here read the book Missoula? It's about
I don't think I did. No,
the university.
I think I've heard of it though.
In Montana, Missoula. It's a crazy book, but it's the guy who, it's the famous writer John Krakauer, the guy who wrote Into Thin Air. He wrote he wrote Into the Wild, that the book that was made into the movie with that awesome movie about the kid who went off into the Alaskan wild and was found and died. He wrote a book called Missoula about all the rape charges against the football team at the university. And it's crazy because it's this kind of thing. It's a university town that's everybody within that system. A lot of them went to that university.
That's where
Right?
Buzz Nutter studies from.
You know, a lot of the people went to that university, and yeah, okay, this person I'm sure knows about that area because I know someone who's actually from Missoula. A friend of mine actually grew up in Missoula. He's a Montana boy, hockey player. And he told me he knew some of the people involved in that case from that book because we talked about it. He's a good buddy of mine. And it's crazy. And it's to the point, a football team at a college is like a fraternity, right? They protect each other.
Exactly.
And there's that. It's what Dago was saying. It's the mentality. It doesn't matter what the specific format of it is or the specific environment. It's that mentality that enables this kind of shit.
Yep.
Right. And we lived in a town where, I mean, it was a college town, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. So, I mean, it was the same thing there. The Huskies, they ran the town. But I will say, they did grow a pair, and for a number of years, Greek organizations were banned from the town. Like they were not allowed. And during that time, I'll tell you, shit was a lot more peaceful. That's for sure. And then it was recently, what, like 2 years ago, something like that, I think it was. They were allowed back in, and from what I'm hearing, things are back to the same old horse shit that there used to be, and it's a shame. It's a shame that they let him back in there, and I hate to say that, but
it's true, Robin. It's true. This is the same fraternity, Pi Delta Theta, that at WSU. I covered him. He died due to hazing, so they shut the fraternity down for 5 years. 5. That's it. I'm sorry. it's like a probationary thing. They'll shut it down and whatever they it's called a charter. They take their charter. That's it. So, and then when that 5 years is up, they come back full force, full form, go right back to the same shit they used to do because it's part of being. And listen, folks, I've talked to people that I know that are friends of mine. One of my police officer friends was in a fraternity at Youngstown State University. They didn't do all that shit. You can be in these groups, you can be in these organizations, you can be in the fraternities without being pieces of shit. Okay, you don't have to do this stuff. You can make it something that instead of being that way with it, make it something honorable. Okay, create honor within the organization. Make it a good thing that people would look up to you for, not because you can drink more beer than anybody else on campus or because you guys can play keg ball or beat somebody up to the point where they could die. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Make it an honorable society or an honorable organization. Use it for good.
Right.
They can't do that.
They get into it because they want to be part of that privileged environment.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I was never in a fraternity, and I think there's no angels out there, right? Dudes party, they get drunk, whatever, shit goes down.
Done it. Yeah.
But I know from being around it, but never being a part of it, I've seen a lot of shit. And, the wrestlers that I grew up with and that I knew for many years, they weren't angels. But I would say of all the sports that I'm familiar with, and I've played a lot of sports and I know a lot of people who played a lot of sports, wrestlers are usually come from humble upbringings because it takes a certain type of person from a certain type of background. Pennsylvania and Ohio, two of the best wrestling states in the whole country forever. The two toughest, because you got a lot of hardy working class people that come from humble upbringings in those areas, and wrestling's a sport that has typically always been filled with people from those type of backgrounds.
Yeah.
And not privileged, not, you work for what you get. And seeing the whole dynamic of fraternities made me think like, shit, I'd never want to be a part of that.
Same here. I wrestled for 4 years. I played football. I played for years, and I played baseball. But I took pride in what I did. Our teams took pride in what they did. We didn't harass people. We didn't get into fights and try to hurt people. It just none of that has never made sense to me. You show pride. You're role model for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my college wrestling coach was a Marine, and he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He became the head coach of Rutgers. He was the junior world wrestling coach. He was like a really respectable guy, and he would not tolerate. He was like super strict. If we were on a wrestling trip, you had to represent, man. He did not tolerate any shit.
Yep. The way it's supposed to be. So, not to keep going on about this, but that's what my good news for me. It was good news because I'm going to be able to interview Mr. Dawson, Austin's dad, and allow him to tell Austin's story from his side of things, what he saw, what he requested, what didn't happen.
It's
all
great.
of that.
Yeah.
And people get to hear this, and then other people will hear this because people play this and other people watch it. You know how it goes out here, guys.
Do you have a time and date yet, or
tomorrow
or no?
sometime? He said he's going to contact me tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow and probably in the afternoon. So definitely looking forward to it. Well, he said he wasn't feeling good tonight, but hopefully that doesn't exist through tomorrow. But I definitely can't wait to be able to do this because somebody needs to hear this. Okay, even the local news in that area, they're not covering it like the way it should be covered. I think there might be one little clip of like the end of a news segment or something that they just blast it real quick and move on. No, that's not enough. It's not enough. So,
no, it's not. No,
it's not.
And I will always go to bat for people that are going through shit like this, especially with what we know about, the University of Idaho, the city of Moscow, Latah County bullshit. Always. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They've gotten away with way
And
too much, and they continue to.
Amanda earlier in the chat put Austin's GoFundMe. Amanda, will you post that again, that link? You know,
Please,
I'm
and
sure
thank you.
they can definitely, I can only imagine all of the medical costs that they have had to deal with.
Insane.
So if you would put that, if you are so inclined and you know, you would like to help out a little, that would be greatly appreciated. And uh Amanda, if you put that link in Teams for me, I can put it here in the private chat. Maybe you want to pass that on to your
Yes.
crew tomorrow. Okay. You
I
know,
might
I just
hold on. Let me see if
my
I.
heart just goes out to him and the whole
Yeah.
family. I
I
can't
got
even
it.
imagine.
It,
Excellent.
it just. I watched the story. Earlier somebody had sent it to me, and I watched that. I was in having a meeting with the mods, and we watched it in there, and I went. You guys already know me already. It just doesn't. Certain things will flip my switch, and I'm stuck. Okay, for as long as I've been here, the
Yep.
fog light thing. You remember what that did to me? So
Yeah.
this is the same type thing to me. So it just when I feel I have a passion for certain things, and I feel like this is just enough. It's absolutely enough. Okay, so thank you, Kat. God bless, hon. Very, very generous of you, Kat. I appreciate that so very much. So I will absolutely be making a big deal about this. And please, once we do run the show, guys, make sure you share it with everybody. Everybody and anybody you can think of. Everybody needs to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's great, dude. That's great that you're
Definitely.
doing that, man.
Yeah.
I just can't get past. See, if here's the thing: if there would have been charges filed or any kind of accountability would have been taken, I probably wouldn't have said a word. But as always, never. They never ever will take accountability in any shape or form. So sorry, this is what happened.
Yeah.
So what did the
And guys,
what did
real
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask real quick on both channels if you know, whoever's out there is watching, take just a moment and hit the like button. It means so much, guys. It really
Thank you.
does. It doesn't cost anything, but it really, really helps us out on, you know, any channel that you watch. Please, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure you check your notifications so that they're turned to all, you know, because YouTube is always somehow either unsubscribing people or changing their notification settings. So if you would please just take a few moments just to do that, it would mean so, so much to us.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for, you know, everyone who has hit the like button. And we appreciate it very, very much. So,
Absolutely.
okay, one, sorry, go ahead.
So that's okay. What was the DA's response? What was their conclusion?
Not they're
Like
done
what?
with it. It's done.
But what did they say? What was their reasoning?
They don't.
They have to give.
There was nothing found when Moscow PD investigated. They were done with it and they passed it off to the prosecutor's office, as you do.
Right.
Nothing came. There was no charges put out. They just nothing founded. That was it. So, and I'll find out more about that tomorrow. And if it's what I think it is, oh my God, you know me, okay? I'm gonna be climbing on the roof and screaming about this because I'm so tired of seeing people get away, especially this bullshit. People get away with stuff like
Yeah.
this again and again and again. And now this kid, 26 years
Yep.
old, he was a delivery driver, for Christ's sake, folks, working, trying to provide some kind of a life for himself. He probably bought the car, was making payments, you know, the pride thing, all that. And now he can't do that. He couldn't do that. He lost out on all that money and then some. Who knows, again, like I said, if out down the road he's going to have any kind of, you know, issues or problems from this. Like Tandy said, there's definitely going to be some shit, you know, possibly down the road. Imagine the
Right.
medical bills from this. The medical bills.
Yeah.
At 26 years old, this kid's probably going to have to file bankruptcy at some point due to medical bills. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
like you're saying, this can have repercussions for him throughout his entire life. Things that won't show up for maybe 10, even 20 years, or they
Exactly.
might show up next year. There's no
Right.
way of knowing.
And at the very least, the fraternity should have footed the medical bills. At the very least, okay? They didn't. They didn't at all. And like I said, we've seen all these things go down. Like again, somebody just said it. Hudson Lindau.
You also have the trauma that is caused too. Besides from the obviously the medical stuff that can have extreme complications and repercussions, but
the
emotional trauma also is a whole nother level that some people don't recover from or take years to recover from.
This could affect him emotionally, guys. Think about that. What he went through. I mean, he died in the back of the squad. He died. Think about what that can do. You don't know what that can do to you as a person, guys. PTSD is a real damn thing. I have it. I'm telling you. Who said that? If that kid would have been the child of, if he would have been the child of a fraternity member, alumni, police officer, prosecutor, attorney, anything from that area, you think it would have went this way?
Yeah.
If Austin would have been the child of one of the people from that community, upper echelon, no, this wouldn't have happened. No. They just shut that place down, everything. So,
well, to this day, I've brought it up many times. The one of the many things, but one of the key things that jumps out every time to me about the Idaho 4 case is the kids running just next to the band field, and how that was completely brushed under the rug so quickly. In 2 days, it's like, oh no, there was no involvement. I mean, come on, man. It's just like, you didn't investigate shit. There's no way they found out who those people were and then cleared them that quickly with if they did any kind of real investigation. Just that right there tells me that you got 3 or 4 people running away from a quadruple homicide scene, and it's seen on a body cam. So they ended up finding out.
And it's right after a bunch of screams and crazy noises going on that we got later on. So,
and all they did that they thought that was enough was to kick the kid out of the fraternity. Are you serious? That's all they did. And all that was only to save their own ass. Understand?
Right.
That.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same principle as, people not getting in trouble or having to face consequences just because they retire or leave a position. And then the person's gone. There's still no repercussions for the things that they did. It is the same principle. I don't know how they could just throw the kid out and be like, yeah, that's good enough. Excuse me?
Right. There's been no, and I think it took them quite a while for that kid to be removed from the what the hell do you call it? Their ledger or whatever for the fraternity. So that should have been immediate. They should have immediately stood up and said, you know what? We are so sorry that this happened. We got the medical bills here. He's gone. We are so sorry. A public apology. All of that should have been handled just like that. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing other than kicking him out and moving on. Like, whatever. He's gone now, so you can't blame us. That's what they did.
Right. Of course. That's the way they protect themselves.
I mean, guys, right, JJ. Doesn't that remind you of just like when I was complaining about the guy that took all the photographs of Brian Koberger from the prison and put him out to the world?
Exactly.
And then he resigned, so there's no criminal charges there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No accountability. None.
No consequences for that shit.
Right.
It was a total invasion of privacy and,
Absolutely. That's all. That's what my bitch is about this, guys. And I'm not going to ever not complain about this kind of stuff because it's just too much. Just too much. So anyway, we can move on. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. And I hope as of right now, everything looks good. Adam's going to be joining me sometime tomorrow afternoon. And at that point, we'll talk to him, get it out, be done, move on. And then hopefully it'll help. That's all I can say is hopefully it'll help. And that's what the deal is with that. So,
Yeah. No, it's an important issue. So I'm glad that you're
But
going to have that opportunity, and we're all going to have the opportunity to hear Austin's story, you
Yeah.
know?
but it's not just fraternities either. So
no,
No.
they're part. So that's why I put that comment up, and not everyone, but there are plenty of sports people
Oh,
in sports
yeah.
that get away with stuff. And a key person I could tell you, and obviously it's highlighted because the guy was an extremely talented player and the level that he got to. So it's kind of doesn't mean that all sports are like that. But Aaron Hernandez, I mean, the guy was
yeah.
it was, and the Patriots got to the level that they got, and he only played a few seasons. But if you look at the history of Aaron Hernandez, I mean, he got away with crazy amount of shit in Florida. He was with the Florida Gators. You hear all kinds of stories, all kinds of stuff that he was involved in. And again, you're talking about big money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
College programs bring in big money. People that don't follow sports, probably nowadays they know, but in the past, if you didn't follow college football, you probably didn't realize how much money the big football programs brought in.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, look at the history of the Miami Hurricanes. Look at the history of all these top shelf college football programs, the controversies that got covered up.
Yes.
For God's sakes, look at the Penn State Sandusky thing.
Yeah.
But the book
Yeah.
Missoula, I highly recommend it for true crime people because it's written by a real deal journalist, John Krakauer. And it's same kind of thing, man. It's the same thing. It's this like this little network in these towns, and college towns, and there's like a network of protection in place. And it's like, I watched that Aaron Hernandez documentary. That was crazy.
It was for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was interesting too that documentary, all the info on him, because you obviously know that the Patriots were such a very strict, and you don't get to win at that level, by not having a strict program. And Belichick basically took a chance on him.
Right.
And I think he would have, I think maybe he would have been okay, but to me, at least what they show, I have to go by the info that they give us, obviously, right? I didn't do like deep research into him. It seems like the real turning point that he went off the rails was when his father died. His father kind of like maybe he was involved with some stuff here or there, but his father kind of like kept him in check a bit. And then once his father was gone, it seelike he got back into like dealing, he got back into like sort of dealing with like, with like gangs and stuff. And he didn't need to, but he just,
well, he was juicing too, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history with roid rage type stuff like that. And plus in the documentary, I mean, it came out, he was gay. He was in the closet. He was married. And so he was living
a lot of mental and emotional distress.
Yeah, he had a lot of anguish and turmoil, and you mix that with substances, and if you've already got because he had, from what I recall, he was sexually assaulted when he was young.
Yeah.
Right. So he had trauma.
Yeah.
And so someone with inner turmoil who's a superstar football player. I mean, he was really good.
I know. That's amazing too, because I believe he started the same year as Gonzalez did, right? Not Gonzalez. I mean, what's his name? What's the other? Not. I'm saying the wrong name. What was the main tight end that
Oh,
played?
yeah.
Gronkowski, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Gronk.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gronk started the same time that he did, and
Mhm.
that was like the special offense they were creating with these two like crazy like like you wouldn't be able to cover them, and then he only lasted obviously a few years there, but just imagine if he was able to stay there and
Mhm.
didn't what happened didn't happen. It's crazy stuff. But,
Yes, agreed.
So Karen in the chat was asking if you guys, if anybody heard about a black SUV driving down the street after the crimes, like whooping, hollering and whooping and all that.
well, isn't there? What was the color? I know it's like somebody. What was that? There's an SUV that goes by right during the Banfield stop.
There was a
There's a
large
truck.
pickup.
Yeah, it was a
some
pickup
truck.
kind of
truck.
Yeah, black truck.
It was a lifted pickup. Yeah.
black. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that it's interesting because that pickup kind of matches up with somebody else's father's truck.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Yeah.
identical to it, to be honest with you. So just saying.
Things that make you go,
Yeah. If it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, is it a
Quack.
certain?
Well, I still, even though more and more things are coming to light in the Idaho 4 case, I think when a cover up has been implemented and there's more, and it goes far enough up the chain, I think I just don't, like I said, I just don't see anything breaking the way that it should unless there's a whistleblower.
Yeah.
Now, there may be enough things that come to light to facilitate, post-conviction relief, but that doesn't mean that the truth is going to come out.
No.
That just
I
that
agree.
just could
I
mean
agree with you.
he could get acquitted, but
Right. Well, right. Well, look at the narratives that are coming out.
Well,
with the mainstream media. I mean, and JJ, you had said it a bunch of times. So the stuff's coming out like there's just too much overwhelming evidence now to really make anyone believe that one person, whether you think it's Brian Kohlberger or it's fucking Mickey Mouse, it doesn't matter. One person could not have done it. And
answer this question.
Impossible.
If there's nothing to hide, if there's nothing to cover up, then if a creator comes out here, one of us, and puts a story out about this, then you should have nothing to worry about if it's not true. But we have creators that are having their videos taken down. They're being demonetized. Jules True Crime Reaction, she just got hit by that. For an older video that she put out. If there's nothing to hide, why are you bothering with this?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what I was gonna say too is one of the points JJ has said a few times, and I agree with him, is that like sure enough has come out where the main you get Banfield and maybe eventually Nancy Grace and this person, that person may say, oh there's probably another person involved. Yeah, that's right. But they're still going to try to control the narrative, and they're still going to hold BK to, okay, well, he was still part of it. Like, yeah, maybe there's another person, but he's just trying to protect them or whatever. They're still going to like, aim to control the narrative, unless like we have Cy Ray, that we have like a definitive, absolute, like 100% thing that comes out that it's impossible that BK could have been there, this is going to be like never ending. You know,
Yeah.
even that woman, the woman you were covering the other day, the IGG, that
Me?
woman you were covering on your channel. Yeah. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Middleman?
when Gabriela Vargas. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriela Vargas. So even with her, because so even though she's trying to like explain how the IGG works and how they got to BK and all that, there's still people get lost in there and they're like, oh, well, she's trying to spin it this way and
Right.
whatever. So
Yeah.
although it's still another expert, it's still another witness, but I think Cy Ray is the definitive. It's really he's the definitive person for BK, because he's going to say with absolute BK was not there. Here's the proof. And then to go along with that is all the supplemental stuff. Oh, the car that you said is his is not his. It has fog. You know, his car doesn't have fog lamps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about Cy Ray. Another thing, they didn't want this to go to trial because if he would have gotten Boyd Jackson in that courtroom to say, oh, yeah, guess what? Jennings and crew, I was able to supply them with the, the advanced timing records because there's a backdoor way of doing that. And Cy Ray knows that because he dealt with that. How much? And that was Cy Ray is very, very dangerous to them.
And it's hysterical too, because it doesn't like the report that basically talks about the timing advance stuff. Like it's you have to be like, I mean, I know weird things happen sometimes, but you have to be really an idiot to believe the stuff that they say. It says in the document they got 3,800 timing advance records in the area.
Yeah.
So they got 3,800. They got 3,800 timing advance records, but you didn't get Brian Kohlberger's. You didn't get his. Because and they go back. Oh, back then, well, they didn't really keep it, and it was just fucking nonsense.
The FBI does not have. There's no limit on what the FBI can do. There's no time limit on that aspect. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie.
Right.
Ashley Jennings sat there and lied to the judge's face and to the court's face. Okay, and she knows she did.
He let it go.
That's why I said he's absolutely. He should be held accountable for involvement in that aspect as well. That's absolute judicial misconduct as well as a prosecutorial, as I talked about in my show yesterday. It's all there, folks. It's fact. So
and to go along with a lot of the stuff that we've been covering, just like real quick, more and more stuff that I know Lee keeps getting the Kopaka stuff. I really beginning to think that Kopaka was not involved at all, and that he really was supposed to be one of the fall guys.
Well, and that could very well be what their plan was, to be honest and true with you. I mean, it's all absolute ignorance and bullshit. I'm sorry. And they think that just because I don't have a law degree, just because I don't, well, you wear one, but just because I don't wear a badge and I don't have a law degree, and I don't wear a black robe and sit behind the throne, okay, it doesn't mean I don't see things for what they are. It doesn't mean I'm stupid, and it doesn't mean any of us are. And that is the underestimation that they should not have done, and then allow this to happen the way it did. It's bullshit. So,
I mean, you can recognize a fog lamp?
Yeah, 100%.
Don't get me started on the fog lamp.
That's bullshit.
You damn it, I just lost it. Shit.
I do that all the time.
Anyway, go ahead.
I was just going to say about Kopaka, in one way or another, I think that there's people that know things or that knew things that were a threat. Regardless what your theory is, like who was responsible, whether BK was involved or not, or there were how many perps there were, there's a cover up. I mean, by
Mhm.
definition, by everything we've seen, that all this information has come out since the official narrative was spoon fed to everybody and in lockstep in the mainstream media. It's just the big question is
Right.
what information was being concealed. Now, I think we can all speculate with confidence that it's very plausible that and probable there was a CI somehow either in the house or connected to the house, because there were operations. We know there were operations in that area. We know there were multiple agencies involved in that area.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And for things to even have any component of national security, to me implies that the CI could have been a federal CI
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
true.
local. Right now, that
Very
doesn't
true.
mean there wasn't uh,
Or
collaboration
both.
between the
Yeah, probably
agencies,
both. Yeah.
but like for so many things to be covered up, that to me screams the feds, because if the
Yeah.
feds were legit with what they were doing in that area, then they would see plain as day that the official story and all the factual information did not line up, right? And unless they were covering something up, wouldn't you think they wouldn't want to
Well,
be associated with a case that's so shady?
there was another investigation with the task force going on, JJ, between them and the DEA in that area when that all went down. So it take it for what it is. It just very well could be something like that when that all happened. So
Sure.
you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think we may get something might turn, but I don't think it will ever bring the truth, because if Koberger gets acquitted, that still doesn't
It's not going to
reveal the
give us the
full truth.
actuality of it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, right. It's just it was their main guy,
Hmm.
and let's say he gets acquitted. Does that mean they're going to reopen the investigation? I don't think they want to.
I don't think they can't afford to, in my opinion, and they
No.
won't. I
No.
mean, I'm sure they could afford to. I'm sure they'll claim they can't. But no, they're not going to. It'll go if Brian were to get acquitted. This is how I see this happening. Okay. Um, and be released and on about his way. Then people are going to say, "We want answers. We want what, how, why." It's going to go cold. It's done. I can almost guarantee it. Other than probably the Gonsalves family would never let it go, and they'll probably investigate it forever. Okay, until they get truth answers out of it. That's all I can tell you. But I do not see Moscow
Yeah.
police, ISP, or anybody else reinvestigating this investigation. Never.
What do you guys think about if they get enough pressure and then they just turn around and pin it on Kopaka?
I mean, they very well could.
It's very
That would make
possible.
sense. I could see
Yeah.
that
I
It still
mean,
happening.
could. It still could be.
they
Right.
could definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, we
It
have
still
proof
could
it was
happen.
him. It was Brent
Right.
Kopaka. That's what he was
Right.
hiding that day, and then it's over. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it still wasn't just one person. And I'll tell you what, if I was any one of those families, I wouldn't shut up until they threw dirt in my face. I would want to know every last person I could possibly find out about who was involved in the
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
I wouldn't care what government entities. You can do whatever the frig you want to me, but I want to fucking know what happened to my kid.
Yeah.
End of story.
I
And
mean,
I
right.
wouldn't shut.
Yeah.
They would have to. They would have to forcefully silence me. They could try to take me to court. They could throw me in jail. I would never stop talking. I would talk to any and all news outlet. You name it. I would shout it from the rooftops. I wouldn't let it rest
Right.
either.
And
The I was
Twiz
going to
says
just say
that
that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if they were going to try to pin it on Kopaka, they realized they couldn't, which is why they moved on to
They moved to
BK. And I
BK.
believe I know why, but
Yeah.
I could still see them trying to say, well, we found new evidence, and it looks like it points to Brent Lee Kopaka, and unfortunately he's dead, so there's nothing we can do, and brush it off and move on is what I see them trying to do.
I'm
Innocent
telling
like
you,
that.
I still in my gut, I think that I've brought him up multiple times. I still think Jonah Cheapin has some kind of involvement.
I mean, he could. I don't know that he would have like hands on, but he could definitely
No,
be
but I think,
like
and the
knowledge.
fact that he was that made an appearance at the truck that night, and what he's a big time dealer,
Right.
I just think I do think he might not have been one of the killers, but
Yeah,
I
and
think
I know what you
he
mean.
had something. Yeah.
Knowledge, definite knowledge. But I agree with Twiz. I don't believe there ever will be. If Brian is to be exonerated for this, there will never be another conviction, in my opinion, ever. And that'll be that. It'll be a cold case that goes unsolved forever. End of story. Unless, like JJ has said many times, unless somewhere down the line, some way, somehow, a whistleblower comes forward and drops the whole ball of wax right on their lap and says, "Here it is." End of story. That's the only way I see that ever happening.
Or it goes to like an independent journalist, like Edward Snowden did with Glenn Greenwald.
Oh, yeah, that could happen too.
Yeah, because I don't think if a whistleblower has kept quiet this long, that means they don't trust anybody involved in the case. But if they went to somebody that had a platform and exposed things. Now, when I said about Kopaka, I don't think they would try to pin it on him. I was saying that tongue in cheek. Like, imagine if they, because he's gone already. If they tried to pin it on him,
that would be I know what you mean. That would be the option.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't think that they would ever do that. I'm just saying.
Or somebody else that just happens to disappear. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's just, there's so many things that have come. I mean, all along the way, there have been signs that there's fuckery going on. Right. I mean, it's obvious. It's not hard to smell that out if you know what to look for. And whenever I see the media in lockstep immediately on a narrative that gets put out, it makes me suspicious. Now, I know what the mainstream media is. I know what they do. I understand it. But then all the other things, and then the things that have come out subsequently, like inconsistencies in the stories that the two surviving roommates told. From day one, we were told they were sleeping. That was never the case, right? We know that.
Yeah, which didn't even make, even in the beginning, it didn't even make sense. Yeah, they're all sleeping, but Dylan's own words. But she heard Kaylee going up the stairs with Murphy. Well, if she's going up the stairs with Murphy, and then she hears crying, how is she sleeping? She's not sleeping. So it didn't even make sense from the very beginning.
Right.
I'll help you.
That's a good point, Twiz. That I wonder when Ann Taylor was referring to what Ann Taylor was referring to when she said that BK was picked a long time before this. That's a great point and question. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that myself.
That ties in with my theory about BK, which I'm not going to say because I've said it too many times on here.
Yeah,
of course, of course. I know where you're talking. I mean, it could be. It could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
Very likely.
What's anything new going on with the Guthrie?
No, there was somebody vandalized the whole flower garden thing that they just put together. They were all over there looking at that video the other day. Savannah and her siblings were there. Somebody, I guess, vandalized it this morning.
Someone vandalized what?
Or last night.
What's wrong?
It's disgusting.
Unreal.
But yeah. And
the crime cat.
There's Coda, yeah.
You know,
When
I'm
did they
like,
pick
what is he
BK? Good
doing?
point, Twiz.
Mhm.
There was something else too that we talked a little bit about with Guthrie today too. There was some guy. There were. This was funny. There was some guy that showed up at JLR has been live from day one.
Right.
Yeah.
And some guy showed up where he was at by his tent, and comes out of nowhere and accuses this attorney out of that area of knowing exactly where Nancy's at, so on and so forth, and called this guy out, uh, just completely threw him under the bus, said that he's a cartel drug dealing attorney, blah 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 blah, and all this other bull. And the guy was tanked when he was talking about it, mind you. I was like, "Good Jesus! Like, where'd this guy come from?" But Sheriff Uh-oh, as I call him, I guess made the statement once again. We're closer to figuring it out, as he says every day.
He couldn't
That's
figure his
news.
way out of a paper bag.
Agreed.
He's very emotional.
Oh, Christ, the guy is so. Oh, he's a joke. He's a joke. Like I said, guys.
Didn't hear something about what the Guthrie's family investigators have potentially turned up, because they did hire their own investigator. So I'm very curious to know what they may have found.
It would be interesting to know that. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Because as we know, a lot of times the private investigators that way are able to
Yeah,
and
they do.
willing to uncover things that aren't
Well,
caught by,
yeah, and when you have a weak police force such as that one, no offense, one, because I'm not referring to you guys, but
no.
that is led by a weak link. Okay, that sheriff's
Yeah.
department is a very very brand new investigating unit, because this guy can't keep people because he's an idiot. So therefore, in turn, it's a weak link. So when you have a weak link investigating a crime like this, you're not going to get anywhere, in my opinion. So,
Or they're corrupt.
there's that too. I said that too.
A lot of people will, with corruption, they blame it on incompetence,
Of
right?
course.
And that's an easy out for people.
Yeah.
If they're involved in corruption, they just pin it on incompetence.
Yep. And that's all. It's easiest walkout, Joe. 100%. Easiest way to do it. And it, like I said before, this sheriff made me look at him and start thinking, Jesus Christ, this guy's like, it's almost like he's working with them. You know what I mean? And for that thought to come to mind, there's something being presented that shouldn't be. I'll just put it that way. So, I'm just because I'm in true crime doesn't mean I think that every police officer is corrupt, because I don't.
No.
I support law
No.
enforcement, but that guy, the way he handled things, it didn't take long for me to look at him and go, maybe he's protecting somebody himself. That's just all I'm saying is what it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
We see it all the time,
Yeah.
like with the Vegas shooting.
Oh, yeah.
And you find out about the sheriff there, and then where does he end up, and what are his connections?
Yep.
And then we see it a lot in government. You see people that are totally incompetent, but yet they still remain, and they have
In
their
power.
donors that bring them along. So is it incompetence, or are they corrupt? And they can just plead incompetence, or people that are also corrupt can just, whitewash it and make it seem like they're just incompetent rather than corrupt.
Yeah, because you can get by with incompetence. You can deal with incompetence. You cannot do that with corruption, folks. Corruption is corruption, no matter which way you look at it, period. Very good point. Very good point.
No, what's interesting with BK as well, I know he talks to his family a lot.
Yeah.
And when you talk, obviously anything that you talk about, unless you're meeting with, has to do with your lawyer,
Mhm.
yeah, obviously that's privileged. But other than that, anything is fair game for them to use or look at. And he, from what they have, the info that they have said, if it's true, he never talks about anything with the case.
Which is
Nothing.
why I believe he
Zero.
doesn't, because he knows that it'll get out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's. It's just interesting.
I mean, whenever somebody is crying in press conferences, that's in a pretty high position.
That's a flag.
It's a red flag, not because people aren't human, because that is a way to deflect.
Yes.
Don't question me. Look at me. I'm crying. I'm really hurting over this. Like that. Like what I told you, we brought up the video of John Kirby from the Pentagon. It's like it's a deflection tactic. When people don't want a questioning to go in a certain direction, they use
and
tactics.
also
play the immersion code,
right? And also pivoting to something else is another. So,
of course.
So, like bringing up the Idaho 911 call, Dylan trying to refer back to what happened at supposedly 4 a.m. Oh, I saw someone in black. Okay. What does that have to do with someone right now? You called 911 right now. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You said someone is passed out. Why are you telling me about something that happened at 4 a.m.?
Well,
exactly.
And she keeps trying to go back to it. Can I tell you what happened?
Yeah, she's trying to pivot. She's pivoting away, like taking,
Well, here's the thing, guys. The biggest part of that call 11 that blows me away. Every time I listen to it, I repeat it again.
Yeah.
When the 911 operator says to her, "Is someone passed out right now?" And her answer is all you need to hear for that entire call. When she says, "I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m." Stop right there. Okay, cut that in half and stop right there. What do you mean you don't really know? You called me for that reason. Now you don't know? What the hell? That alone in itself should have been called out by law enforcement, and they didn't even blink. They just moved right over it.
Right. Well, I mean, just the most basic aspects of that call. You're calling 911 about a passed out roommate, but you never checked on them?
Nope.
In what universe do you not check on someone, but yet you're worried enough to call 911, but you don't know anything about what's going on?
Right. And what's also what I could tell you too, like hearing it again, like there's no sense of like urgency really in the call. Like I know Dylan is she's trying to play emotional and act all, did a horrible job at acting. There's no sense of urgency. Like listen, I urge people who, Dago knows because he dealt with it. This was part of his job. I've dealt with this all the time. I urge you guys to just listen, play like a bunch of 911 calls, just like random stuff from all different states, all different places.
Yes.
And you'll hear like
they don't a normal like
call, a normal response from Dylan. She would have been like, my friend's passed out. I see. I don't know what happened. I see blood. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like she would have been a little more frantic, tense. There would have been a sense of urgency. Like I need someone here right now. I see a lot of blood. It doesn't appear she's breathing. I need help. I need like nothing. Pretty much at 4 a.m. I saw like what? It's like
the call is a complete contradiction in itself.
Yeah.
When she says what she says, okay. Again, is there somebody passed out right now? I'm not sure, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Well, you need to find out if somebody's passed out. Then she says, "Okay, I'll go check right now. Come on, Bethany. No. You have to. Let's go." Wait, what?
Yeah.
Nobody says a word.
And right here.
Yeah, I mean,
This
you wouldn't
comment from
call
Tomboy Shark.
911. Unless you
Right.
knew something,
Yeah.
you knew what, like one said. Our roommate, we tried to call them this morning. They didn't answer. We went, and she's unconscious and there's blood all over the place. And I
Right.
agree with people saying in the chat, there's a staged element to that call, in my
Oh, yeah.
opinion.
Yes.
My opinion. So I just think that alone, this is the thing I've talked about forever. I've been saying that call seems like bullshit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and nobody in the media is questioning it.
No.
It's like,
not even
to
a little bit.
me, that screams operation,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
any person, anybody, normal human being would say that doesn't make any sense. Why would they wait 8 hours and then when they call the next day,
Right.
they act like they don't even know why they're calling.
Right.
I can't even hear it without laughing now, because come on, I'll go check. What do you mean you'll go check? You already called me because of this, and now you don't know?
Right.
You got
Like if
caught.
I'd have been a
You're
911
caught.
operator, I'd have been like flipping. I'd have been like, what? like, you know,
You heard the redacted audio from Hunter.
The what?
So what was it? Who was it? Connor got the video, the 911 call and he sent it to one of the, I don't know who it was that put it out there. It basically, you can hear some like other whispers and other stuff in the background.
Yeah. Outcast did that a long time ago.
Right. And Hunter Johnson, he says one of the things, I guess they're trying, Dylan doesn't want the phone, I guess, and he's like, no, you have to,
She's in the background screaming in the beginning.
No,
No. Yeah.
But he says to her like, oh, you have to explain, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too, you guys. And I'm telling you, I don't care what anybody says to me. You can believe what you want. I know what I believe. When you hear Hunter Johnson go in that house on that call, and he's yelling out to Dan and Ethan, which is all completely a joke because he's already been in there. He knows what's going on.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then when you hear him yelling, get out, get out, get out, get out, you can tell that he's such a far distance away from them.
yeah.
I guarantee you he was upstairs on that third floor. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can't tell me he didn't go up
Period.
to that
Of
third
course.
floor.
Well, how about the mainstream jumped all over the frozen shock phase, right? Well,
Yes.
if you don't know what happened and you didn't know anything was wrong, why would you be in a frozen shock phase? I mean, if you just
Right.
go right back to the beginning and now look at what we know, how much bullshit it was, and none of it was pressed. None of the investigation
No.
it seemed like it was actually deliberate, like they were actually trying to find things out. And the way they treated Dylan, to me, was suspicious from day one. But when you hear the follow-up interviews,
Yeah.
you're not a suspect if you don't feel comfortable
Hey.
answering anything.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point,
Let me pat you on your butt. Right.
they know
Yeah.
all the inconsistencies.
Sure.
So this is what I'm talking about when I say there's more. I've been saying all along, there's more to it. And because I think that it goes pretty far up the chain, that that's why I say I don't think we'll ever get the truth unless a whistleblower comes forward, because, whatever you people believe about it, it's your opinion based on what you believe. But the fact is that no one can deny that we've been lied to.
No.
Right. So if people don't have enough intellectual honesty to say, well, why were we lied to? And then start finding, all right, this is a possible reason. A CI, they didn't want it to get out that a CI was murdered. And it was collateral damage. And it was because they were working with either the feds or local PD, and the school had something to do with that. Right. That would be something. That would be something you could use to explain it. But some people don't want to even ask the questions.
Right.
And I'm
that's
gonna
the
add
problem.
something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna add something to that I've been thinking about for a few days now because of some other stuff I've been looking at from before. The whole CI thing, and it's what reminded me of it, JJ, that you brought up. So I made notice many times, about the distancing that this group of victims, their friends, did to them the night that this went down. Everybody that's normally at that house, for some weird reason, just conveniently decided not to be there that night. Okay. um Emily and Hunter and
Except for their Dylan's friend that was watching Vampire,
well, she
whatever.
was even
Diaries.
supposed to stay the night and decided to go home herself that night.
Yeah.
All of these people stayed away from them conveniently that night. Okay. So makes you wonder if there was a little birdie floating around putting things in people's ears saying that's a snitch and something bad's gonna happen tonight, so you might want to steer clear. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yep.
And that could have been any one of them. I'm not pointing at who it was, but there's a snitch in that group and you need to stay the fuck away or you're going to get hurt too. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what I think at this point. Why everybody did distance from them. It's the only thing, in my opinion, that makes that make sense. Ashlyn Couch was supposed to be there that night. And something just conveniently happened where she couldn't be there. Jenna McClure is always there, according to what I understand from the
Right.
reports, and spends the night there. That other girl could have been there and stayed and decided she was going home. Hell, even Maisie didn't want to go hang out with them that night. She decided she was going to go home and go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. Hunter and Josie and Emily all decided they were going to bed at 8 o'clock that night. Conveniently, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
This is
And
college,
any
for
other
Christ's
time
sake.
they'd be there partying until 3, 4 in the morning. Not that night.
Exactly. So I can
Yeah,
very
and that was
clearly,
and that was right after a football game too.
I can
Right.
very clearly, they partied before they tailgated for the game.
Yeah. Right.
Again, so I could very clearly hear somebody floating around saying, "There's a snitch over there. Something bad's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen. You might want to stay away from there tonight." Just saying. And Kim WSU Kim said to me 3 years ago when she was in my channel, Dago, they knew beforehand. Okay, they knew maybe a week or so or more before this was going to happen. Many of them knew something was going to happen, and they know who. I see it, Tandy. So yeah, absolutely, very plausible.
I mean, come on, man. It's like all the things if you just go back to the roots of the case. I mean, Hunter Johnson is holding a knife, when the police arrive on the scene. And
Right.
like they no suspicion,
No, they just
like,
let him.
no detainment, no like I
No.
mean, what kind of shit are we dealing with here? This is what I'm talking
I
about,
know.
man. There's fuckery that's so obvious that I mean,
And right,
maybe
and you're right.
because
And the only thing that makes sense with that, because I've watched that multiple times and we've spoken about it, and it's such like a basic police, like it's not, you don't need like crazy experience, right? Like you're showing up at a place where possible crime, possible very violent crime, and someone's in the house leading you with a knife.
Right.
It's so if you think about that, what would be something that they wouldn't need to worry about? Well, if it's a kind of a scripted thing and they already know that there's no danger, it may have been something they overlooked when they were trying to create this nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
look, yeah.
And something else. Why when Hunter okay, on the 911 call, if I had just seen what he saw, I would have grabbed the freaking phone and said, "They're dead. They are dead." I mean,
Yeah.
why was there not more? I mean, right there tells you what bullshit it was. Anybody else would have, and I know people say, "Oh, don't," everyone reacts differently. I'm sorry.
No, well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
They're dead. Get here now, whatever.
Exactly.
But
There's no sense of urgency.
no, not at all.
And that's what I mean. If people listen to other 911 calls that come in, like you can hear it in people's voices, and like, oh, I need help. This person isn't breathing. What do I do? I need help. I see blood. Like you can tell that, like,
That's why I don't understand why the families don't see it like we do. Why don't you see that? Why aren't you challenging that? Any of you?
It's so fake. It's real.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things, and that it could be because was law enforcement involved, or were they there and they just don't want that to get out, that the two guys on patrol were at the house at some time that would have required major explanation if that was disclosed as to why were they at a house full of college kids at whatever 2:30 in the morning or 3 in the morning or whatever. And little things, one lie leads to another lie, and then you have to cover up those lies, so you add more lies. But I just think because of the nature of this case, it can't be just local law enforcement, because we know other things now that have come out over time, what things that were going on in that area. And then if we're to believe and feel strongly that there was a CI in the house, well, then that opens up a whole other can of worms. So which angle is it? Was it a cover up just so they didn't look bad and it didn't come back blow up on the university and the operations going on? Or was it literally there was like corruption, serious corruption, that led to this happening, and then that is where the cover up comes from?
Yeah, right.
Or maybe both. Maybe a
right,
little.
it could be both.
It's like DA is always saying, all we really know is that it didn't happen the way they said it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when like, that's the thing. If you're doing like a logic experiment, if you can pretty much prove that, which I think we can now definitively, then there's a lot of whys that come up. Okay, well, why did you lie about it from the beginning? From day one, they were all sleeping, right? So why did you lie about that? Why did you say it was an isolated, targeted attack so early in the case? Well, if you knew that early in the case that it was an isolated, targeted attack, you didn't reveal that for sure, because they made it sound like they were speculating that it was an isolated, targeted attack.
Right.
So then, there's more whys. Every time you can prove something that was incorrect or a lie, why? Why did they lie about that thing? Why did they lie about, as Candace always says, and I have to give her credit for this.
Yeah.
It's the little lies that she looks at the most, because it's things that, why did you lie about that little thing? That's her big thing. And I think she ends up, by using that tactic, she ends up finding the bigger things, because she says, well, why would you lie about this? Why would you lie and say they were sleeping? Right? You couldn't possibly have had evidence of that.
Because Xana was on the floor. She was found on the floor. So she wasn't sleeping on the floor.
Right. So, and that's a whole nother conflict right there, because she claims it's, that they were such good friends. So this person that's such good friends to you, that you see passed out on the floor, you don't try to help her. Like, what
Yeah.
kind of that doesn't sound like a good friend to me.
And
No.
if we're to believe that what we saw in that picture was Xana, which I still am suspect about that picture, to be totally honest, for several reasons. That person was covered in blood. Their face was
Right.
covered in blood. There were blood on their arms.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Dylan's official story, oh, I saw Xana lying on the floor, but she didn't notice anything else.
Because she didn't see her. Well, if she saw her,
No.
it wasn't the way she proclaimed it, in my opinion, JJ. She
No.
either saw her because she was standing in the room with her, but it
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
by running by and glancing over and seeing her. I proved that, in my opinion.
And the craziest thing about it is that I'm sure people are still doubling down on the official narrative, and that's scary
Mhm.
to me.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
are.
That is fascinating to
Yeah,
me.
they are.
And I've said it many times about many different things. It's counterintuitive, but a lot of times people, and I say this obviously being facetious, but people would rather march to their death than admit they were duped.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what's going on, in my opinion, with a
Yeah.
lot of these people, truly.
And also and that, you know, I'm not here in the true crime community, but many people, you know, they just go on with their lives and they don't do deep dives into the stuff. They don't look at the, you know,
No.
they don't. They may be, you know, there's a lot of smart people out there. There are people smart that can read documents or whatever, but they choose not to. They're going on with their kids and their lives and work and family, whatever, and they just take the, you know, oh, okay, you know, they hear a soundbite from Banfield or Nancy Grace or whatever, Brian Enton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how many people that I've talked to that they just sometimes things come up,
Absolutely.
and like, you know, I've told a few people I work with, like, you're gonna see a big thing coming down soon with Brian Koberger, and like, what do you mean? Then he pled guilty, and then they have like all this DNA evidence and all this stuff. I'm like, don't get me started.
Well, there's people that plead. There's people that take plea deals every day that didn't
Yeah.
did not commit one crime. They do this day
Nope.
after day after day, year after year, month after
Well,
month. They admit
right.
to crimes that they had nothing to do with for a better reason in the future, which is exactly what happened with this situation, as we will see at some point. So
And
I don't
then-
even pay attention to the people anymore that say he took the deal, he pled. I don't even, whatever. Talk to yourself.
And then if
in the
there's
mirror.
something, and then if there's something involved with the feds too,
Right.
Unless you have a big pocket, like if they're coming after you, you know, and this is why
There's
people
an-
plea. They take the plea bargain. You're not gonna very hard to beat the you know,
Just
the
watch.
FBI's coming after you or whatever federal agency. They have you in their radar. They're coming after you. Unless you have the means, you know, you have the big bucks to fight them. And it shouldn't, you know, justice shouldn't be like that, but it is.
Right. So Lenny Briscoe. Why should the masses
shouldn't-
to think that BK is not guilty if he took the deal and did not appeal? Did you hear what I just said? I just said that hundreds of people every day do the same thing day after day and plead to crimes they didn't commit.
Yeah.
And he still has time to appeal. And I believe he's going to very soon. So when he does, then you'll probably see it at that point.
So Lenny Briscoe, to tell you, not to attack you, because maybe you don't know.
No,
But just to like inform, just to inform you. So, when, you know, all the pretrial and all the different stuff, you know, different things that were going on with the judge and Taylor and Thompson,
Right.
Ann Taylor couldn't. She seems to be. I think she really knew a lot of what was
Agreed.
going on. She did. Like she brought up the 7 minutes missing in the video. She knew a lot of stuff. Maybe she didn't know everything at that point. I mean, she got a ridiculous amount of discovery. I would say this. It definitely could have been somewhat of a strategy. If you really go and you look at all the stuff that went on, BK was not getting anything. The defense wasn't getting anything from Hitler. Not
No.
one thing, nothing.
No.
Hitler was basically a third arm of the prosecution. He wasn't being impartial. Yeah, he wasn't being. He was like arguing for them. Right. I mean, so at a certain point, I think Ann Taylor's like, we're not going to get anything here. I'm sure she would have loved to have gone to trial, but she came up with a whole strategy, I believe, here. And oddly enough, by him pleading guilty, she's had all this time. She's had an enormous amount of extra time now to investigate and get more info together. And if you look, if you look up post-conviction relief and all the different reasons that would qualify for post-conviction relief, so I mean, you could go down the list. Dago covered a whole bunch of stuff on his show the other day. Was really good. But just to tell you, being that we mentioned it, just the biggest one, and we've talked about it many, 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 many times on this show. Okay, it's not for a judge to decide if you're going to argue something about like some kind of special forensics or some kind of very, very particular, some kind of special like auto mechanic or whatever. So in this case, what was one of the big specialists that was being like talked about had to do with cell phone data. All right. And the thing that happened with that is that Cy Ray was the defense expert. And Cy Ray is basically the expert in the field he's actually trained and gone around all over the United States, training different agencies and law enforcement on the forensic info that evaluating time advance records and other cell phone data, and on like 1,000, I don't know how many times, but all the times that he testified in the past, he always testified for the prosecution. This was the one time in his career he actually was testifying for the defense, and he wanted to testify, but guess what? They had a hearing, and Hitler basically said that he's a conspiracy theorist, and he threw it out. And this is a big, huge problem, and this is one of the main reasons why, one of them, there's many, that he will be able to file for post-conviction relief. The fact that he had a highly trained and accredited specialist, not an opinion. He has the credentials to prove he is a specialist, and Hitler wouldn't let the defense use him. And again, it's not for Hitler to decide. It's not for Hitler to decide that. It's what Hitler his decision should have been either, okay, prosecution, you either get your own specialist to counter argue Cy Ray or argue against him, or you cross-examine Cy Ray. Those are the options.
Right.
It's not to mention that day. I'm sorry, Robin. Just real quick.
No,
not
go
to
ahead.
mention that day that Cy was on Zoom live in the courtroom that day. Hitler very easily could have said, all he did was say, well, he didn't look at the 7 days and he didn't bring it. It didn't matter. And he could have very easily told them that day he wouldn't let him do it because he knew that what I was going to say was going to blow the top off of that shit. There's people's
Right.
jobs at risk here. No shit. They shouldn't have those
Yep.
jobs that they're doing this shit. So there's the
So
problem
that
right there.
Yeah.
right. So that's a huge.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. Not being able to use your own specialist to argue your point. That's a problem, and that is a definite reason to file post conviction relief. And then if you want to
Sure
go
it is.
back, just go back and look at the PCA. Look at all the stuff in the PCA. Just from us, from the community, all of the community together that filed for all these different FOIA stuff. Okay, we have the proof now that the car at different times that they say is at this location, at that location, at this location. These are very specific timestamps. It's not like just an open statement stating that BK was at this location at this time. But we know now that the car that they claim, and they said that they had an FBI expert that reviewed, and that the Hyundai Elantra, that they narrowed it down and that it's definitely BK's car. Well, guess what? BK's car doesn't have
No,
fog
it's not.
lamps.
Right.
It's not his car.
It's definitely not his
so
car.
now we're going all the way back to the probable cause affidavit, and one of the other big pieces of info that went all over mainstream media for years and years and years that they threw down everyone's throat. Oh, BK! Oh, he turned his phone off at 2 a.m. and then turned it back on. At whatever it was 4:50 or
Yeah.
But if you read I spoke about this with Lee. If you look very carefully at their wording in the PCA, they don't specifically say he turned his phone off. You know what? Because they know he didn't turn his phone off. And I give credit to JJ and Lee. When boots on the ground, they went. They, as close as they could, they tried to take like what was thought BK's path, and went to Wawa, however you say it, the park over there. And guess what? They lost phone connection.
Right.
So what would be a reason?
Be on the live early, because as soon as you get out of Pullman, so it wasn't that he turned it off. One of these days we're going to do a show where we list every single freaking inconsistency that happened. I think we should do that. Not tonight, but because we could.
I know
for days. For days.
So the stuff just, I'm not mad at that guy. The stuff just gets, it just gets you fired up. Just gets you, because
but
the lying that went on with the PCA, there shouldn't even be an arrest. I mean, me being a judge, I mean, I can't. If there's one lie you're trying to get an arrest warrant, it should be thrown out. One lie. I mean,
right. Yeah. So, well, guys, this has again been an amazing conversation. And let me just tell you, the chat, you are absolutely amazing with all of your questions and comments. I mean, maybe one of these nights we'll just do like every single thing from the audience. I mean, we have such smart people out here. I mean, you guys just are phenomenal, so, but for now, I guess it's about that time. So, let's go around the horn here for our closing thoughts. We'll go, Dego, Joe, 1-1, and then I'll close us out.
Alrighty then. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. As always, like Robin just said, great conversation. And truly, as funny as it is, we didn't even have a direction we were going, you guys. And like I said, we'll figure it out because we always do. Great conversation. Great conversations as always. Thank you, JJ, Robin, 1-1 for being here to have that conversation with. It was amazing. Thank you to all the moderators. You guys are amazing. Miss Candy, Miss Essie, Amanda B, of course, Tomboy, Leah is in the house, Mikey, my producer, Molly, my videographer, all of you guys, every one of you guys in the Blue Crew, and all of the mods over here as well. You guys are all very, very much amazing. Love to all of you. As I always say, we wouldn't exist without you. Everybody in the community, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Because again, as always, we wouldn't exist without you. Nothing but absolute love for each and every one of you guys. Please, please, if you will, just make sure to hit the like button on both sides when you go out that door tonight. And don't forget, we will be back here tomorrow night. Same time, same place, same amazing peeps. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other, folks. And don't change a thing. You guys are truly the beautiful people. And we will see you very soon. Have a great night.
JJ.
All right. Thank you, Robin. 1-1, Dago, Denizens, Meatballs, the awesome mods. Yeah, you know, as 1-1 said earlier, when the cat is away, the mice will play. And we got to go off the rails a little bit tonight. I always like when we do that. Yes. And it's interesting because sometimes just going back to the beginning, things that we've all talked about a million times, when you go over them again and really look at the inconsistencies in the case, and then you look at where we are now, it just really makes you shake your head, because we shouldn't have gotten to this point. And you know what I'm going to say about all that? It's because there's fuckery involved in the case, obviously. And you know, people take plea deals. There's many different scenarios where they take plea deals. Either they get framed and they don't think there's a way out of it, or there's corruption in the system. And you know, if the death penalty's on the table, that's a motivating factor as well. And there's many different ways. I have my own theories about it. I'm sure everybody's got theirs, but it happens. And there's a lot of evidence, documented evidence to show that it happens quite a bit. So I'm sure we'll dig into a lot more. I don't think this case is going away. I have a feeling that we're going to start. I agree with Dago. I think we're going to start hearing more about it in the news in the near future, in the mainstream. So we'll see how that plays out. But thanks again to everybody. And well, I'll see you guys again. I'll be back on Friday.
All right. Thank you, sir. And 1-1.
Ah, you guys are awesome. All of you. Great mods. Amanda, off the charts. Etsy. And guess what? We're not stopping, Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings. A whirlwind is coming for you.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
It's kind of disturbing.
It is.
Don't we love our toys?
You gotta
great,
love it.
great show as always. Great discussion. I will be looking to hear from Dago about that interview. Obviously I have to be in class during the day, so I don't know when you plan on having it, but if I have to watch, you know, the rewatch or whatever, I definitely am highly interested in that. You know, hopefully you get to do that interview. So, and we should have Lee back tomorrow, I believe, right?
Hope so.
Yep.
Yeah, so that'll be good. We won't be able to play anymore.
Are you kidding? He plays as much as we do, if not more.
I was just gonna say.
I know. He keeps asking me. He's like, "How are you doing that? How do you shoot?" I'm like, "I don't know.
He'll
I don't
have
know.
one.
It's just
He'll have
yeah,
one soon. Don't worry.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know."
it won't be long. Mhm.
So great stuff as always, and I will finish off here with a movie quote. Diego, you got to get a handicap, but I don't know. But
Hey, I've been
JJ's
backing
pretty good
off.
too. Yeah. All right. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Somebody once wrote, "Hell is the impossibility of reason. That's what this place feels like. Hell."
Is that it?
That's it.
Nothing.
If you don't know it from that, I'll give you another quote.
You got me. I'm stumped. So
Wow, you stumped on that, huh?
I am
Okay.
stumped.
I'll give you another one. I think now, looking back, we did not fight the enemy. We fought ourselves, and the enemy was in us. The war is over for me now, but it will always be there for the rest of my days, as I am sure Elias will be fighting with Barnes for what Ra called possession of my soul. There are times since I have felt like a child born of those
Platoon.
two
I
fights.
think Tandy and
got it.
yeah, Tandy got
Yeah.
it. Platoon. And then JJ, of course. I was
Yeah,
thinking I
good
couldn't
job.
think of the name of the movie. I almost said Heavy Metal or Full Metal Jacket again, but they called it.
As soon as you said Barnes, I knew what it
Yeah.
was, but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember the name of the movie.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the movie name either. As soon as I heard the name, I was like, "Oh my god, great movie!" By the way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of
that
these
movie
days,
was
Robin.
a
One of these.
big
Series,
one
I
for
might get
Charlie.
one. Maybe
Yeah.
if you could do like some other types of movies.
Hey, we did
I don't watch
Clue.
those, so I don't
We did
know.
Clue. We did Clue last night. So
Yeah,
I've never
that
seen
one.
Clue, so I'm clueless 'cause I didn't see Clue.
I had that one immediately as soon as you said the name
oh
last
man,
night. I love that
Robin.
movie.
Well, just real quick. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you played the board game Clue like at some point in your life, right? Years ago. No Clue.
Like
Colonel
Colonel
Maybe
Mustard,
once
Mustard
or
with the
Professor
twice.
rope
Plum.
candlestick in the library. Nothing, none of that.
No,
Well,
I liked Monopoly and cards.
okay, but if you
Ooh.
want, it's an interest. If you want like kind of an interest, it's got a comedic feel to it. You know,
We will have to
does.
watch it. We will
it's
have to
good.
watch
Curry.
it on your
Tim Curry.
recommendation. We will have to watch
Tim Curry's in it. And,
Tim Curry is one of the best actors ever. I love Tim Curry. So
yeah,
Rocky
Yeah,
Horror
he's
Picture
good.
Show, you cannot go wrong, folks. Just saying.
Yep. Well, thank you once again, each and every one of you, for coming out. Whether you come to the live shows, whether you're on the replay crew, we appreciate it so much. We like Dago said, we had no set thing coming into the show, but we always end up in a great conversation, and you guys add to that. Our amazing mods, our teams, where would we be without you guys? So we are just truly blessed to have this amazing community uh behind us, and um what we're doing is important, and it is important to go back and remember these early details, because it just highlights the fact of how many lies and inconsistencies surround this case and many other cases. So, but yes, tomorrow Lee will be back, and we will be back at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard, and then 9 p.m. Eastern. So, once again, we'll be back and with all kinds of things to discuss. And Lee will have details about his trip and about the Mickey Steins and case, as well as the Sabrina Adkins case. So thanks for tuning in, and hope each and every one of you has a fantastic night. Take care, guys.
Good night,
Night,
everybody.
everybody.
Right.
Good
Good
night.
night.